Welcome! In this series of short videos, we will look at topics common to both the PowerBasic console and Windows compilers. Today we will look at a library for speech or SAPI functions. In this series of videos I'll be covering the creation and use of libraries. So you might ask, why use libraries? Why not just write code whenever you need it? Well, if you're writing a lot of applications, having common libraries that contain functionality that you use often will save you time, both coding and testing. It will also make your code more readable and therefore maintainable, which is always a good thing. Today we're going to make use of Microsoft's Speech API to allow your applications to convert text into speech. We have a speech library which consists of 4 basic functions. And we're going to use these 4 functions to allow the text-to-speech function within your application. We've created 3 local variables here. The first, strVoices, is to contain a list of all the voices available on your computer. Windows 10 normally comes with 2 voices, and I have added a third one. strVoice variable is going to be used as the selected voice. And strText will be used to provide the text to the Speech API to allow it to speak. So the first thing we're going to do is to use the getVoices function to get back from the computer a list of the available voices on the computer. And this gives us a list of 3 voices: Microsoft Hazel, Microsoft Zira, and the additional voice I've added from Siri Voice, Adam. Having got these 3 voices, we can use this piece of text to specify which voice we wish to speak in. If we make use of the FunSpeak function, we can take a plain piece of text and allow the computer to convert this to speech, using the default voice.
The program is now running.
Having audio enunciation within your application allows you to have an application where the user may not be able to actually see or interact with the application. So now that we've stored each of the voices in this strVoices variable, we can pull the information out of there to change the voice we wish to speak with. And we're going to use one of the other functions, speak-with-voice, to allow us to speak with a specific voice. And we're building up the text we wish it to speak in the strText variable. And we're parsing the strVoices based on the carriage return line feed, and the last parameter there is the voice we wish to speak. As we have 3 voices, it's either going to be voice 1, 2 or 3. If we pick voice 3,
The program is now running.
And it has 3 voices.
we can hear voice number 3 immediately after the first. We'll comment these first 2 enunciations out, and we'll stick with this next one. We're now going to use voice number 2, which is a purchased voice from Siri Proc.
What are you doing, Dave?
Now, something interesting on the Speech API, this particular voice, which I only installed on the computer a couple of days ago, is giving an error once the voice actually finishes speaking. This doesn't appear to affect the speaking of the text, or stop the program continuing with any additional speech or code. The error message itself appears to be coming from inside the voice library, and will obviously need some investigation. This particular error only appears to come up when we're running in the console compiler. When we're running in the Windows compiler, as we have no console, the message does not appear. Another thing you can do with your text is to put punctuation in the sentence. The punctuation will actually pause the computer slightly and give you a slightly more natural sounding voice. For example, putting 2 commas into the sentence will make it sound slightly different.
The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on.
So if we have a look at the functions within our library, we have 4 functions. The first is to get voices and returns a delimited list of each of the voice names currently installed and available for use on your computer. The FunSpeak is a very straightforward function that takes the text you give it and will speak in the default voice in reading mode. The speak.ext function takes an additional parameter and will use the speaker flag. The speak with voice function adds an additional parameter, which is the string of the selected voice in which you wish to speak. As you can see from the code, the speak function calls the speak extended function with the reading flag, and the speak extension function connects to the SAPI COM object using this command to create a new COM object, and if this has successfully been created, it can then go ahead and call the properties and methods of that particular object. And having called the speak function, it will wait until the speech is actually finished before continuing. So in order to let you see what you can actually do with multiple voices, I've created a small function that allows all three voices to have a conversation, or in this case, an argument.
Welcome to our house.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to these people.
What for? You haven't done the washing up yet.
I can do that later. This is important.
You always say that and it never gets done.
But this is my job. It puts food on the table.
What table? We've still just got a virtual one. I want a real table.
Now, you shouldn't start arguing.
And who is this? Where did she come from?
This is Zira. She is a Microsoft voice.
I don't want your virtual floozies in my house.
It's not a house, it's a laptop.
Or even in the laptop then. And that reminds me, you have still to clean out the hard disk.
I'm waiting. For better weather.
That's it. I'm going back to my motherboard.
Well, I hope this short video has given you some ideas of how to use the Speech API. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.